God, lighting in this hotel room is great. Obviously. Oh God, there's a super chat. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Oh, sorry. That's probably annoying seeing my thumb go back and forth. Loric Project says, "Hey Nick, hope you're enjoying Seattle. Any good meth heads on your visit?" Um, so far, I have not actually been really to Seattle proper, except for a stop at the airport. Out, we're outside of Seattle, so I'm not really there. Sorry, I'm early to the late stream. Okay, sorry about that. I was bored. I was sitting there waiting. I'm like, should I just start? Like what should I do? And I was like, I'll just go ahead and start. So, um, but yeah, so I'm here. We had an earlier night tonight than we did last night, right? Last night we went a little bit later. I was on the stream with Ty Beard and some mystery guests, of course, who shall not be named. But last night was fun. I think maybe I drank too much. Maybe. What is it? What was it? Barbecue sauce, I guess. I have no idea. I think maybe I drank too much last night. Axe Lion says, "Oh shit, which suburb are you in? Polesboro is where this hotel is." So anyway, I'm uh, how is it the one time I'm early, it's that we're outside the shithole that is Seattle? I don't have anything else to do. Everybody else went to bed. And I'm like, so go out on the peninsula, go see the ocean. I don't have a car. I don't have anything. I'm at the mercy of others. Uh, I'm completely at the mercy of others. Uh, Polsbo, it's not Seattle. No, well, I didn't know where I was gonna be. I was told Seattle, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to Seattle. Now, here's the thing. Tomorrow, and if you're in the Discord, there will be updates on this in the meetup room. Tomorrow, around lunchtime, Seattle time, there will be a live meetup with me and Ty in Seattle proper at a bar. I know there's some Seattle area people who've been asking. I didn't know if I would have time. Turns out tomorrow we will have time. So there will be a live meetup. We're gonna just go hang out at some bar. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'd tell you, but I really don't know. Um, and you guys can come hang out with me if you want. And we can have a drink, we can have food. I don't care. But that's what we're gonna do. Loric Project says, "Have you tried to pronounce any of our weird city names like Sequim, Sequim? No, no, I don't know what that is." And Axe Lion says, "Say Puyallup, 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 Puyallup." Breck Nichols says, "What's that on your face?" Well, it's not lipstick, that's for sure. No, no, I think it was barbecue sauce. We had ribs for dinner. That was very good. Very good ribs. But this is not just a talking stream. This is a little bit of a mukbang. Cars in Depth says, "Seen Dimebag Darrell's estate's suit against Dean Guitars, basically dispute between heirs of original principals. Also, can dead folks endorse stuff?" I don't see how the dead could endorse something. Um, so no, but they would have a right of publicity to not suggest that they would endorse something. Does that make sense? So you can't, oh shit. You can't, like a dead person obviously can't endorse something, but you also can't say, like, I can't say Martin Luther King endorses this live stream. I mean, I can as a joke, but not like really. He would have a right to his own publicity, and his estate would have a right to his publicity about stuff. Ascended President Not So Handsome Jack says, I was about to say, isn't it a little late for you to start streaming, Nick? But then I remembered it's 10:30. Welcome to Pacific time. God, I hate Pacific time. It's terrible. Puyallup? Puyallup? MLK did endorse this live stream. That's true. That's real. That's real. Did you get your second dose or something? One side is slower. No. I am still you know, spike protein free. Yeah, it's 10:30 and everyone else went to bed. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What am I even doing? I don't know how to live like this. Malik Foxon says, I was salty at a steak last night, so I made one today. Medium rare, salt and pepper, stupid, simple, fucking tasty. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so this is, you guys have to bear with. So I had some ribs a little while ago. They were great. Very good. And some homemade bread. What's wrong with my hair? I forgot to bring a comb. So it's just floofy and I can't get it to do anything. I forgot to bring one. Loric Project says, beware of the meth heads coming out of the underground city tomorrow. That'll be good. Last night did hit the old farts hard. It hit me hard too, actually. I have had, so there's a couple parts of a hangover, right? Let's break down a hangover. There's the headache, right? There's a need some hair gel. Yes, but I'm not taking donations on that. Go buy a comb. They're like $2. I don't have a car. I don't have a car. So there's the headache part of the hangover. There's the like behind the eye pounding and the loud noises and all that. There's the neck ache, which is brutal. But the worst part for me is the sour liquor liquid that's left over in your stomach. And it stays there forever. It stays there forever. And you just feel gross all day. And that has been my entire day. Skelt Redden says, at least this webcam makes you look great. This is my phone's camera. So here's the thing is I have to try and keep up with super chats as they come in because I have the phone. That's all I got. I didn't set up a computer and all the complex shit because it's I haven't had time to do that and setting up a webcam and getting everything. Oh, Jesus. I got a phone on a tripod. Stega says, it's okay, Nick. I'm here in 10:30 land with you and I'll stay up. Are you hungover tonight or something, or is that just the legal weed? I have not had any legal weed. I have not. So, what's up, Bearing? How you doing, buddy? The dark yellow wee. Yeah, it's so that sour liquid that sits around in your stomach and kind of just emanates up this nasty like gas in the back of your throat all day and makes you feel like you're burping, but you're not. You're not burping. If you could just burp it out, it'd be like, and you'd be done, right? And you kind of want to throw up, but you can't because you don't feel like throwing up. It just sits there. So I've been trying all day to absorb that liquid. And I started out my day with minestrone soup and then some Sicilian spaghetti with spicy sausage in it. It was great. Some little Italian place. I don't know. 200 Watt Studio says the camera angle is showing me what the floor sees looking up your nose. Yeah, yeah. And Trayona says, stinks. I can't stop by and say hi this weekend. Still hope you have fun. Also, it's pronounced Squim and Puyallup. Puyallup? Okay. Myron Records says, daughter made it back to Portland for rehab after 115 days in Baltimore. I am manning hospital duty for the weekend so my wife can be home with the boys. West Coast, best coast. Dude, Guys, My Room Records has been going through. We helped out with the GoFundMe on that, and there's good news from it. He posted an update just the other day. Very, very good news for his daughter, but long way to go on hospital stuff, and I can't imagine what he's going through as a dad. So he's a good quality dude, and reading his post that he loves those kids, and that's what matters, right? As a dad, that's your job, and he's doing it great. Tet says, "Welcome to my neck of the woods. Sorry for the crappy drivers. Try Snoqualmie Falls root beer if you get a chance." Okay, I'll see what we got. But anyway, so then after the spaghetti and the minestrone was good. God, I should have ordered way more of that. Uh, I had ribs and um, I had some donuts. They're pretty good donuts. They're from a bakery. They weren't Asian enough, but they were still pretty good. Then I had ribs and tomato. What's the tomato with the basil and the vinaigrette and the chunks of cheese on it? What's that called? I know it's called something. I had that. That was good. Xenobit says, "Can you please kill the spider on your wall?" There's not a spider on the wall. I don't think. That thing over. Wait, what? That's a knot on the wood. Loric Project says, "Nick, you'll have to try Dick's Deluxe Burger when you're downtown." Well, we'll see. Death Trout says, "You and Ty for Flashcast." No, I doubt it. Xenobit says, "Made you look." Oh, you son of a bitch. So anyway, yeah. Then I had the caprese salad. Is that what it is? I don't know. Whatever. It was good. Sam Adams 73 says, "You're one of those clear of conscience guys. No anxiety in your belly. Liquor just sits there." So then I ate that, and then they're like, "Okay, we're doing an early bedtime tonight." And I'm like, I thought I was having a bad hangover day. Uh, all right. So we come back to the hotel, and I look across the street, and there's a Mexican place that's open. Like, oh baby. So we got a pile of Mexican food, right? And I got this small bowl of Mexican soup. Uh, this small bowl. So I asked the lady, I said, "Okay, this is no, there's tomatoes in the guac. There's just hard to see in the lighting." Uh, so I asked the lady, I'm like, "Okay, is there plasticware in the bag? Because I'm at a hotel, right?" And I'm like, and she says, "Yeah, yeah, there is." She's right. I got a fork and a fucking fork, which is not very useful for eating soup. I don't know if anybody knows this. It's got this big ass bowl of soup and no spoon. I don't know how to do it. This soup looks delicious. It's got avocado and tortilla strips in there, bunch of pico, cilantro, chicken, I think, somewhere. These tortilla strips look like pappardelle noodles. Jared says, "Have you seen the wild story that a group of SEALs and Green Beret veterans flew into Afghanistan privately to rescue and escort people to the airport?" Jack Boso tweeted out a link to the Daily Mail article about it. I have not. I have not been following the news today. 200 Watt Studio says they fork you in the drive-through. Uh, yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I heard they airstriked some ISIS. Did you see how quick they're trying to cover up the fact that like 13 Americans got fucking killed by a suicide bomber? Death Trout says, "Not useful for eating soup, you quitter." Well, I can fork it into my mouth. I'll fork my mouth over and over, and then I can drink the broth. So yeah, uh, you notice like they're trying really hard to have some positive news in Afghanistan. So they went and bombed some ISIS target, which is good. Bomb all the ISIS targets. I don't fucking care about ISIS. But but they're trying to they're they have bungled this fucking Afghanistan pullout. They bungled this pullout job harder than Nick Cannon. It's really bad. And and now they don't know what to do. So they keep fucking up and they keep getting people killed. And and they're trying to get anything to outdo it. So let's send some Americans in to do something heroic for Joe Biden. Fuck you. Fuck you. Own your shit, Joe. You did this. You fucked up. Oh, his soup is lava. Oh, Jesus Christ. Stephen F says, you and Uncivil are friends. Does that ipso facto make you a fat lover? Admit it, you love at least one fatso. If not, next anti-fat rant with Uncivil. Tina says, programmers eat soup with a fork. Only casuals eat soup with a spoon. Generalissimo says, my dude, you seem tired. Hope it's because you have some good news about your business deal. Oh, yeah, this thing's coming together. I'm getting pretty tired hanging out on your wall. Please go to sleep so I can envenom and liquefy you already. Signed, the knot on the wood. Joshua Zanabria says, you had teriyaki before. Yes. Apparently Seattle is where it first became a thing. And yeah, royally screwed the pooch in Afghanistan. Jared says, rumors are an unnamed billionaire is funding the operation, as in Trump. Also, Glenn Beck took his private jet there to rescue people. But how did he possibly land? The U.S. government can't figure out how to land and get people out. Timothy Reaper says, best place for authentic Mexican food is Seattle. It's the only thing open at this time of night in this area where there's not much. There's an Indian place. I wouldn't eat that because I have a bathroom. So I can't do that. Stega says, Harris knew Joe's pullout game would be her downfall. So this is supposed to be a pork with a green salsa. Pork carnitas with green salsa. But I didn't get green salsa. I just got other salsa. But that green salsa is what makes this pork dish good. So I don't know, man. The soup was good. It's fucking hot. Let's try it. Carnitas are okay. No problem with them. But yeah, they're trying to run damage control on Afghanistan. They fucking can't. They can't do it. Call it by its real name, Salsa Verde, you privileged white man. Did you guys see Andy Richter's beta fucking rage on Twitter? If you didn't, I retweeted it a little bit before the show started. It is so embarrassing. Here, let me get my other phone. Oh, so I can pull up the tweet. I can't show it on stream because, I'm on a fucking phone. Ava M says, you're looking very dapper today. Oh, thank you. In Girl Scouts, I learned that spoons are just wider knives. You do with that what you will. I don't have a knife. I don't have a knife either. Okay, here we go. I'll read this. Oh, shit. Xenobit says they boned the PR so bad the press got confused. And Loric Project says a lot of the Mexican restaurants in Washington are run by a few families that are from the same town in Mexico. Very interesting. Okay, so this is Andy Richter, right? Comedian, jokester. Wasn't he co-host on Conan's show? right? I'm thinking of the right guy, I think. Oh God, sorry for the ADD. Guys, today I had to explain. Someone tasked me. They said, uh, explain Preston Poulter to this wonderful, normal woman. Thanks. Thank you. That's what I needed to do. 200 Watt Studio says other phone, side chick phone, Nick. No, my main phone, right, is a Surface Duo. The phone I got for my business and for these like on the road broadcasts. This is why I got this phone is my Galaxy S21 Ultra because it has a way better camera. Uh, so anyway, you had to explain. And I'm like, so Preston, his wife pegged him. And she goes, what's pegging? And I go, and everybody's like, no, 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 just stop, 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 stop. Well, you told me. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this at all. Don't you stop me. You asked me to explain Preston. How can you do that without a pegging story? Oh, fucking. Here's the problem. Every time I'm scrolling through the chats, my finger adjusts the focus spot on the dumb. Uh, Blaine 20 says, Pinche cabron, how are you not dead? Where's Ty? He's down in his room. I'm late but not gay. My sources tell me Ty has received some honey at the office. Oh, very cool. Uh, so yeah. So anyway, Xenobit says big money, big money, big prizes. I love it. Okay, so here's Andy Richter's tweets. You'll have to bear with me. I know it's not the most fun to. Oh, I'm in DSP town. Oh, why didn't I go to his house? I know where he lives because he did the bankruptcy. He doxed himself. God dang it. Uh, Andy Richter says, my son is looking for a studio apartment around USC. I guess that's University of Southern California, right? And one that he applied for a couple days ago told us that the owner wanted 6 months rent up front after he and I both paid app fees. No wonder people fucking hate landlords and the management companies that facilitate them. Okay, so let's do a pop quiz. What's been going on in the world? There's been constant eviction moratoriums for a year. So now landlords are going, okay, if I can't kick you out, I need more money up front. Weird. That's kind of how it goes. And they also probably said, we have fucking Andy Richter here. Definitely get the money up front. Right? That's what any sensible business owner right now is going to do. You have a multimillionaire who's going to co-sign on an apartment with his kid. Get the money up front. Yeah, Conan's Andy. Yeah. So, okay, so that's his first tweet. His next one, he says, oh, and that's in addition to first and last month's rent for deposit. Okay, so they need 8 months of rent. And again, yeah, yeah, a lot of places are asking for a year up front because it's too much risk. They haven't been paid. They haven't been paid in a year. That's what happens when the government stops people from getting money. He says, next, he says, and if you're on here saying you got to look at it from the landlord's point of view, read the fucking room. And by room, I mean planet. Yeah, a bunch of people have been told by the government that they don't have to pay landlords. So yes, you got to look at it from the landlord's point of view. You own the property, or they own the property that you want to be in. You don't own it. It's not yours. They don't have to rent it to anybody. They could just use it for a jerk-off room. Hey, look, I'm going to my jerk-off house. Leave me alone. I'm going to lock the doors, and I'm just going to blast them out all night because fuck you. This is mine. That's what they could do. Instead, they rent it out to you and your degenerate kid or whatever. So stop your bitching. They don't have to do that. But they choose to. And they can charge whatever they want. sort of within reason. Places like California actually do a whole bunch of stuff, to kind of control what people charge, but that's a separate story. We're talking in theory. But with the rent moratorium or the eviction moratorium, effectively became a rent moratorium because if you can't evict someone for not paying rent, then they just don't have to pay rent. Now, a lot of people still did, right? Because they know that at some point, all of that all of that not paying rent is going to catch up. Malik Foxon says, ironic, he says, read the room, forgot about le pandemic when it's convenient. Um, so a lot of people still paid because they knew that eventually all that back rent was going to come back. And the Supreme Court just struck down the eviction moratorium. Now, the likely outcome is that the CDC or HUD or someone else is going to put in a new eviction moratorium because the Biden administration just can't have this catastrophe. They cannot have all of their voters being evicted. They don't know what they're going to do. Backgoat says, is a jerk off house like a safe house? Yes, safe for jerking off. Twin Blasters said, didn't the Supreme Court officially end the moratorium today, or at least deny the recent extension's validity? Is it null effective immediately? My understanding is it's null immediately, probably going into effect tomorrow. It's going to take a little time for those to start filtering into a courthouse. But the Biden administration is going to do another moratorium, or they're going to have Congress do it. That's the next move. Ramrod some quick bill through Congress to get an eviction moratorium back up. They can't have a bunch of Democrat voters getting evicted with everything else that's going on. They just can't do it. Guru says, how can I pay? I only have millions of dollars. So yeah, you got to look at it from landlords' perspectives. And this is what it's going to do. It's going to force poors who are not in houses away from rental places. I mean, what? Because they can't come up with 6 months or a year of rent in advance, and landlords are just going to say, fuck off. Now, eventually, Congresses and states are probably going to mandate that they take people in. This is just the logical outcome of central planning in economics. RW Bimby says, read room. Yes, the room is for rent 8 months in advance. But this is the unintended consequence of a well-meaning policy. Okay, there's a pandemic. It's hard for people to shop for apartments. It's hard for people to get jobs. We fucked all that up. We got to make something. We're gonna help people stay in their homes. Okay, let's just make it so landlords just can't evict people right now, just temporarily. Oh, great. For what, a month? No, like a year. Oh, well, but did you put a moratorium on the landlord's mortgages, their taxes, their utilities? No. Okay. How does that work? Right? These are the questions that need to be asked. But when you do that, eventually the business owners have to do something. They have to come up with a solution. And Andy Richter is pissed off that they did. So he says, his next tweet must have been retweeted into MAGA Twitter because seeing lots of quote tweets saying moron socialist is all for rent moratoriums. And yes, I am. However, I will only accept your criticism of my not understanding cause and effect if you are pro-vaccine and pro-mask, which I bet you aren't. General Isimo says, did you see the soldier TikToking about wanting to enforce martial law on U.S. citizens? Why relish conflict? Seems megalomaniacal and sociopathic. I didn't see that. Eric the Red says, Richter wants to ignore a year of rent. What does that come out to? 36 to 40K a year of rent he just wants to ignore? What's property tax? He just wants middle income landlord to eat. Yeah, that's how it goes. Xenobit says the 2021 fails are like some never-ending infomercial. Every day I hear, but wait, there's more. So yeah, so he'll only listen to you if you're pro-vaccine and pro-mask, which I bet you aren't. Then he says, and there's also lots of shut up and pay rich guy from people who aren't right-wing. Oh, so he's getting it from both sides, which he's into. Which I have gotten whenever I say anything on here about financial inequity. And while I understand being angry at wealthy people as a general stance, I don't understand this instance. First of all, you should never understand being angry at wealthy people in general. That's stupid. That's not a general stance. What are you angry at? Wealthy people. Why? Because they're wealthy. Doesn't make sense. Like that is just That is, so you should never understand that. But this is what happens when a socialist makes money, right? They get mad when their socialist principles aren't upheld. He should have given away all of his money, right? Like, should have paid extra in taxes or something. Tina says, so if the Supreme Court has twice told Biden he can't have a moratorium on rent and he just does it anyway, what's the point of the Supreme Court? That's been a question for a very long time, since Andrew Jackson. The reality is that the Supreme Court has less guns than the government. 200 Watt Studio says, Andy Richter, America's perpetual number two, lol. Yeah, no, this is a thing under Trump too. The Supreme Court made orders against Trump, and there was real talk that he might just ignore some of them. I wish he would have. I want to see a showdown between presidential power and the Supreme Court, because I think the Supreme Court could use a little bit of a reminder of who they are, and more importantly, who they aren't. They aren't elected. They're not politicians, but they're acting that way. Now, I happen to think that a rent moratorium is blatantly unconstitutional, but that being said, I'm kind of interested in the power dynamic between the Supreme Court and the president. Rich Clark says, look into the story about a Cook County judge stripping mother of custody rights over vaccination status. Ex-husband didn't bring it up, the judge did. Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. Xenobit says, does Biden's poor pullout game explain Hunter? Yes. Heinrich Berndowski says, the TikTok soldier who talked about shooting gun owners is a pog. She's 88M stationed out of Fort Bliss, and her COC has been informed of her statement. Damn. Oh, it was a woman? Oh, God, stop. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. I didn't ask. I didn't ask. Someone volunteered it. I just said I didn't see it. Look, there are plenty. This goes back to the Faye Valentine thing. There are plenty of capable women who fit the physical requirements to be a soldier. Not all of them want to be soldiers, but they're out there. There are women who are physically capable and mentally capable of being great soldiers. We have enough diversity in the United States for that. And I mean real diversity. I'm not talking about skin color or any of that bullshit. That being said, they're not really sending their best. They're not, because why women being soldiers, especially like infantry, it just doesn't make sense for the majority of women. You have to be an outlier to meet those physical requirements. ASO says the eviction moratorium will lead to Killdozer too. Yeah, I think so. I think so. So anyway, yeah, that's just funny. Okay, so back to Andy Richter. So he's bitching now because the lefties are after him also. Low Pro says POG says personnel other than grunt, non-infantry pronounced poge. Okay. Pogue. Pogue. Not pretty ass white girl or whatever. That was what Drex and I were talking about. But yeah. Static 2020 says I got my first apartment. I was making $4 over minimum wage. My son now makes $4 over minimum and can't even come close to affording it. $7 minimum wage versus 12. Yeah, no, I get you. I wouldn't want to be trying to rent right now. Not at all. Mm. Oh. All right. So here's Andy Richter rationalizing himself. All right. Remember, he says, I get being upset at wealthy people normally, but not in this instance. Not when it applies to him. That's not fair. So he says, my parents weren't and aren't rich. I, through a combo of luck and talent, ended up making a good living in entertainment. This is the socialist way. I don't know why that means I can't point out when something is unfair, when I'm basically agreeing with the person who's telling me to shut up. The best part is, Andy, your wage is unfair by your own standard. You're a socialist. Your wage that you made was unfair. They're just pointing that out, you fucking commie. Heinrich Berndowski says, I've lost most of my family recently. They aren't dead or anything. They're just racist, homophobic, and xenophobic. That's her, a staff sergeant at that. Ugh. So next he goes, here we go. And this is mwah, the creme de la creme, right? Andy Richter says, I'm a feminist male. We know. We know. Do you really not want me to criticize sexism? I'm for racial equality. Does my whiteness mean I can't speak out against racism? Yes. By your standards, yes. It's puzzling why people with whom I largely agree want me to shut the fuck up about income inequality, exploitation of the poor, etc. Andy, you're on the side of power dynamics, power and privilege. You have all of the power and privilege and the income. They don't like you. Why do you like them? Kalinka Pavlova says, eat the rich unless they're Marxists. Yeah, let's eat Andy Richter and we could feed the whole fucking planet. But these people have no awareness. They have none. It blows my mind how absolutely clueless they are about their own situations. So here we go. I can understand that it bugs someone that my kid goes to an expensive school and that I can afford to help him with an apartment. Truly, you shouldn't understand that. That's stupid. But I don't get why you'd want me to shut up about having an experience with landlord greed. Doesn't me shutting up just serve the landlords? Well, your greed, Andy, is what caused the problems. You greedy, greedy, greedy little fucker. Malik Foxon says, say it with me. Cognitive dissonance. Wolfgang Deo says, I just finished watching Castaway since Andrew Clavin recommended it this last week with my professor. The mask caused the misunderstanding. Nice. Nice. Well, Andy Richter's just a greedy pig dog. Doesn't me shutting up just serve the landlords? No. You opening your mouth or shutting up doesn't serve anybody. I mean, we'd all be better if you just kept your stupid thoughts to yourself, but you don't recognize your own hypocrisy here. And Andy Richter, then his final tweet says, when I said rent moratorium, I should have said eviction moratoriums. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. So there we go. That's Andy Richter. God, it's you could just smell the soy coming through the screen, right? It's just such a fucking baby. Xenobit says they tried moratorium against the Killdozer guy. He told them, "You can't stop me. I'm a Jedi from Jakku. Fight the dark side from Tatooine to Naboo." No one important says, "Hey Nick, did you see my Twitter DMs entitled actresses MLK in Fortnite, high schoolers and Koof ankle bracelets, and now Biden crazy week on it?" Yes, it's been a crazy week. I've only seen some of the DMs. I haven't been following up on a lot. I've been hanging out with these people, playing games, having good conversations, talking business, talking life, not just business, fun too, drinking whiskey. Today I did not drink because yesterday, I don't do the hair of the dog thing. I don't have another drink to like fix the hangover. And my body doesn't like that. So, mm. Oh. And then Matt Walsh had a pretty good response. A lot of people did, but Matt Walsh is right up there. He says, crazy stuff, Andy. Turns out there's serious consequences when the government tells property owners that they aren't allowed to evict tenants who don't pay their rent. Who could have ever predicted this except any adult with a functioning brain? Great Loner says, these worthless Hollywood meat puppets make me wish daily for the San Andreas to finally wake up and fix this shithole of a state. Well, if the San Andreas's name is actually Larry Elder, you might get some progress on that. We'll have to see. Try the soup again. Okay. Okay. I don't know if the tortilla adds to the soup. It's not bad, but it's good. Catch you later, Esme. What kind of soup it is? I don't know. It's not like a traditional soup. It's got chicken, tortilla strips, avocado, pico. It's in a chicken broth, some cilantro, some Mexican seasoning or whatever. It's good. Wish I had a spoon. Silky Johnson says, "Did you read Streamlabs last night?" No, and I can't read it today either. I don't have the ability to read Streamlabs here on vacation. Sorry. Wizard's First Rule 57 says, Nick Kaboom. Hey, what's up, buddy? Almond John 1 says, where the Fiznuck are you? I'm in a suburb, I guess, of Seattle. Isn't that tortilla soup? It's not what it was called. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it was. It was sopa de tortilla. Yeah, there you go. Tortilla soup. That's right. I forgot. Low Pro. I highly recommend watching, listening to China Unscripted number 31, a podcast episode where Josh Felipe explains the origins of ideological communism before Marx. Once you listen to it, nothing on Twitter will ever surprise you. Nothing on Twitter surprises me, other than people's just lack of self-awareness. Adolf E. Newman says, the left. Workers are entitled to the means of production. Also the left. No, stop making money with that condo you built with your own two hands. Wolfgang says, lie told to solicit business, aka false advertising. Wait, I was supposed to receive something from sending all this money? Dislike until Lawcat. Lawcat's 1,000 miles away. Matthew Wilson, Ty and I did have fun last night. Well, you got tomahawk ribeyes, bunch of whiskey. 200 Watt Studio said, did you tuck Ty in for the night? I invited him to go get Mexican food. And he's like, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, okay. Stephen F says, half of Congress seated illegitimately and fraudulently. Laws still gonna pass. All good though. Super chats and live streams does a great nation suffice. Damn right. We'll save the world one live stream at a time. I think tomorrow there may be an evening live stream that may involve guns and the death of some board games. That's all I'm going to say. Almond Job 1 says in Kermit voice, tell us the ingredients of the soup. I did it. Avocado, pico de gallo, chicken, tortilla strips, some cilantro, it looks like. That's about it. Nick's X says, are you anti-vax for all viruses or just this one? I'm not anti-vax on any viruses or any vaccines. I am anti-mandates. I don't believe the government should be telling people what to do. Sounds gross when you eat that. Oh, sorry. I didn't know that the mic would pick it up. I am opposed to government mandates of vaccines. That's it. And yes, all of them. All of them. All my kids are vaccinated with all the normal vaccines that kids get. I'm vaccinated with all of the normal vaccines. I don't take the flu vaccine. One, because I'm not young, but I'm not old. I'm relatively healthy. And when I take the flu vaccine, I get the flu. I don't really like that. Now, I'm told that I don't. My doctors have told me so many times that no, you don't get the flu when you get the flu vaccine. And I'm like, well, what the fuck am I getting? They're like, no, you're not getting sick from that. I'm like, oh, gee, every single fucking time I get this vaccine, a week later, I get sick. I said, just by happenstance. So I don't get that. I don't get that anymore. The last time I got one, my in-laws, one of my sister-in-law had a preemie baby, and you just had to have a flu shot to go visit. So that was the last time I got one. But other than that, outside of special instances, I don't get it. I'm not opposed to it. It just doesn't work for me. Tall Skinny Geek says, let's get government mandated super chats ASAP. Brother, You're my new hype man. The Zan Man says, slurp our collective ears, daddy ooh woo. It's the ASMR. God, fucking ASMR. Wolfgang Deo says, I am anti-vax and the vax does not have solid backing and its evidence of effectiveness and safety. Clinical trials are good but manipulated. Look, I don't know anything about this I don't want, I hate talking about the vaccine, by the way, because people take my stance of, hey, the government shouldn't tell you what to do one way or another. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you get a vaccine or not. It doesn't affect me. If I want to get vaccinated to protect myself, then I will. If I don't, I won't. I don't see why this is so hard. Almond John 1 says, will you be on Flashcast tomorrow? Unlikely. Very, very unlikely. But that's the whole thing. Like, I have to take a look at the vaccine, any vaccine, and say, do I want to risk this for me or for my kid? And if I say, well, this risk I think is worth it, or this risk isn't worth it, that's what I choose. I don't ever want to tell people what to do. It's not in me. It's not in my person, my ideology. It's not what I want. So I don't do it. No one important says, after these weeks, I can see why Australia doesn't exist. So yeah, it's yeah, last night was so annoying with the vax talk. I didn't want to talk about vaccines. I don't ever. I really don't. It's not like I will talk about the legality of it, what I think the legality is, but I'm not here to talk about the efficacy or the science behind it. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to. I'm not a virologist, not an immunologist. There are other people who do that. Wolfgang Davis says, I also hate talking about the vax too. There's evidence. There is a vax if someone wants it. However, we face resistance when debating. Why? Well, because there's a group of people in power who want it for everybody. They want to mandate it as much as possible. That's why. So, but anyway, other things going on out there. I want to talk about the legal implications of circumcision, Pixlexia. No, I'm not a virologist, an immunologist, or an epidemiologist. But I am a jokeologist. What kind of material is your shirt? I don't know. It's really, I can't look at the tag. It's really squishy and stretchy. It's great. How about Faye Valentine? Oh, yeah. Did you guys see Faye Valentine having her fucking shit fit? Wow. Here's the problem. I was explaining this to some people tonight. Oh shit. Wolfgang Deo says nosologist because no one has seen a nose that big. Here's the problem with Faye. So Faye is thinking that people are mad at her. Well, until her little rant, no one was mad at Faye Valentine, the actress who's playing Faye Valentine. It's not her fault that she looks the way she looks. I mean, some of it is, but like, but she doesn't look like Faye Valentine. That's not her fault. So people aren't mad at her, they're mad at the casting. Uh, Malik Foxton says, don't even get me started on that dummy. Oh, get started on it. That's what I'm doing. It's not you that's the problem. It's the person who hired you who's the problem. Stephen Farrington says, when you get the vax, will you have a preference on which one? I haven't thought anywhere near that far ahead. Adolf Newman says, that's Faye's sister, no one knew, flat Valentine. Yeah, so then she does this. And this is the problem. What she said in the video is, I guess I could I could go back and change my genetics so I'm 6 foot tall, super skinny with D size breasts, right? She Faye isn't 6 feet tall. Faye's shorter than Spike. Faye's 5'6". And the fact that she doesn't know that, and the same thing with Jonathan Cho when he was asked like what his favorite bebop scene was, he didn't really know. They don't know the source material. It was the same with Kevin Smith. He lied about liking He-Man and then later admitted he really didn't know anything about it. At least Michael Bay was honest. Never watched Transformers in my life. Okay, well, thanks. So you're not going to be honest to the source material. Fine. Just be upfront. Arc 5 says she ain't even bad looking, just not for the role. That's what I was saying with Drexel, although I've rescinded that. Now she's fat. She's fat now. I said she wasn't fat earlier. I changed my mind. She is now because she's a bitch. Andrew War Snowboard says, have you set up a Capitol Hill autonomous zone? Wolfgang Dale says, Portland is still peacefully protesting, of course. Look, here's the deal. If the casting department cast me to play Thor or Superman, they'd be fucking idiots. And everybody would rightly be mad. It doesn't matter how good of a job I could do. The only way I could play Thor or Superman is if I spent like 2 years doing nothing but personal training and a specific regimented diet so that I would look like Thor or Superman. I would have to get big. I'd have to get muscly and bulky, and I'd have to change my entire physique to do so. I could maybe pull that off with the right money and motivation and time. I don't wanna. I'm not trying to get that role. But the casting department would be shit if they cast me to be that. I'm not a big guy like that. And she's not a rail thin 5'6" woman with big tits. But guess what? They exist. They're wonderful, magical creatures. They're all over like Instagram. That's where they all live. And probably not many of them can act. No, it's amazingly difficult to find that magical combination, but they didn't even try, and that's why people are pissed. Lopro says, women like Faye Valentine don't exist and the costume doesn't work. Someone tell that to all those low-budget fan films. Low-budget fan films, cosplayers who pull it off. Malik says, like I said before, these actors ain't fans. Fuck them. Dinabit says, chick from Fifth Element had a Faye Valentine type outfit, did kicks and flips just fine. She also wore a toilet paper outfit in the first act. Well, look, okay. I've seen the Fifth Element argument a couple times. Let's be a little fair, though. Mia Jovovich, right, I think is who played her, does not have D-size tits. She's very, especially in the Fifth Element, she's very great shape, very pretty woman. But she doesn't have Faye Valentine's body either. And it is hard to find someone like that. Yeah, Faye Valentine looks a very specific way. That's okay. You go find them. Or you don't. But don't try and pretend that it's that audience's fault that you didn't find them. Magoo says, name my daughter after Faye Valentine. This whole thing is stupid. This woman is obviously thin-skinned and doesn't get it. Well, I'll say fat-skinned because I have now deemed her fat. Timothy Reaper says, fatness of the mind and soul. Exactly. Jay says, so fat is a mentality. I understand now. Yes, it is. It is. I've explained this a couple times. People are like, oh, why do you make fun of fat people? I'm like, I'm not making fun of fat people. I'm making fun of a fat person. And I don't actually care how fat that person is. What I just have to know is, does fatness bother the person I'm intending to bother? And with Faye Valentine's actress, it does. It absolutely does. And you know how I know it? Because she talked about it. Unprompted, talked about how she's, her thighs are too big or whatever, which they are. They just are. And so that is why I changed my mind on that. 5'6" in a C cup with push-up and chest makeup. Yeah. But shockingly, there are women who are 5'6", 105 pounds with large breasts. They exist. And they're not all of them have implants. Some of them do. You can find those women too. You can find this person. Again, they didn't for whatever reason. They didn't try. They didn't want to try. They don't care. That's the real reason. They just don't care. They're not faithful to the product because they don't care about the product. They don't care about the original. They're doing their own thing. Fan Advocacy Network says Gina Carano is 5'6", has decent sized breasts, and has fought in an octagon wearing next to nothing. Oh yeah, the outfit won't work. Look, volleyball pants. There you go. Volleyball pants. Hug hug that booty, right? And those girls move all over the place. No one important says also what's with these actors, voice actor or otherwise, have the big heads. The woman has an ego so big, no wonder she didn't fit in the outfit. Yeah. Uh, Gina was always thick, prima facie. Gina was never like rail thin. Even when her fighting weight was like 150. She's strong. Like she's got big muscles. She's got big thighs. That's why she kicks so hard. She's got, strong arms and shoulders. That's why she punches hard. That's why she was a knockout. Why she was a knockout and why she knocked people out. Gina's not a little wafy girl. That's she would, and if they cast Gina Carano for Faye Valentine, that would be a bad casting choice too. She doesn't look like that. But I don't think anyone was suggesting that Gina should be cast as Faye either. Um, but yeah, it's all about how you're shaped. Faye Valentine is supposed to be rail thin, thin legs, thin arms, thin waist, big chest. Lots of cosplayers pull it off. Would you do a watch party in the original Cowboy Bebop? If it was on Prime, I would, but it's not. Generalissimo says Faye is a good tragic character. Shame on Netflix. Yeah. Death Trout says, "What's the over under on the outfit being wrong because the actress refused to wear it?" No, I talked about it with Drexel. I'll tell you again if you didn't see it, and if you didn't see it, you got to be watching these streams. You got to listen to everything I say every time. I'm so wise. She put on yellow and it made her hips look just mammoth. That's what happened. She put on a pair of yellow hot pants and her hips went to the fucking moon. That's what happened. It's simple. That's why they switched him to black. Because she's got, look, this is not a bad build. She is not an unattractive woman, okay? But she's got a shorter build. She's short and her hips are wide and her thighs are wide. She doesn't have a long, lean figure. She's curvy, but if you put those yellow pants on her, we wouldn't be calling her Faye Valentine, right? We'd be calling her fucking fat. I don't know how else. It would look really bad, is my guess. That they made some yellow hot pants on her, and she just looked as wide as a school bus, and with the rest of the outfit because she's short. That's another thing that Faye Valentine, the character, has in the anime. There's a lot of midriff. There's a big section of narrow stomach that is there. That accentuates the leanness of her. And there are not a lot of chicks who have that long, thin torso and long, thin legs. It's a hard look to find. Guess who? I mean, Victoria's Secret used to employ all of them. Victoria's Secret models could pull off a Faye Valentine. That's just the build that some of them had. And they've been railing against women who look like that forever. Women who look like Faye Valentine are not allowed to exist because it makes women who don't look like that very, very angry. Xenobit says the actress complained about being unable to do stunts in a skimpy outfit. That was my point of the Fifth Element. No, yeah, you're right. I gotcha. But other people were bringing up Mia Jovovich because they were saying that like they could cast her. They could have cast someone that looked like her. She didn't look like Faye to me. Wolfgang Dale says, didn't know Faye was from Cowboy Bebop. Used DuckDuckGo with not safe for work image search. Found Faye Reagan. Where's Baneling lol? Oh no, don't don't look up Faye Reagan. Malik Fox says, just wait a minute. How many action scenes was Faye in the series? I don't remember her for her flips, spins, and kicks. Really, just the double D's. Admittedly, most of them just involved her with a gun and running. She wasn't doing a lot of like fighting action in the show. She's not a fighter. Someone even said in the chat earlier, she wasn't a fighter. She used her looks. She was an infiltrator because she was a seductress. that's how uh, that's how she got into places. She didn't fight her way in. Spike was the fighter, shooting her ship's cannons. Yeah. Malik Foxon says so that makes her point completely moot. Yeah, but you know what? So I was talking about this with Drex and Lady Rackets the other day. You know what she's going to do, right? She's going to have a bunch of fighting action scenes where she's beating up 250-pound men. And here's the move that she's going to do. Cuz this is the same type of fucking people who do all the Marvel shows. She's going to run up and she's going to do a scissor leg takedown around their waist, where she then does a scissor grab on their waist with her legs, grabs their arm, and flips them over, because this is the move that they think all women can do. It is the dumbest fucking move on the planet. I wish some chick tried that on me. Iris says, next time you're in the area, you're welcome to come hang out on the beach, swim in the community clubhouse pool, wine on the deck, deer in the yard, eagle in the sky, no chop zones. Whidbey Island, baby, just peace, peace. Oh man, that sounds great. If I was here for more than a couple days, it would be fantastic. Wolfgang Deo says, so this hasn't even released yet. They can shut the hell up. Yeah, so here's what happens. So if a woman, like let's say, little 100-pound woman, like Daisy from Shield, right? I forget the Chloe Bennett. Like she's a small woman. She does this all the time. ScarJo does it too, I believe, as Black Widow. If some woman did the scissor legs around my waist and like grabbed my arm, I would just kind of rest back, because that's how physics and leverage work. And then I would lift her up and I would slam her head into the pavement and she would die, because that's how reality works. But see, they're going to have Faye Valentine. You trust me. Like, watch a compilation of those Cowboy Bebop action scenes when the show comes out. I guarantee you they're going to have her do that gay move. Xenobit says Netflix will dress Edward in the Faye outfit. Oh, God. That'd be horrifying. Digitalis says, I don't want to tell anyone what to do. Worst YouTube cult leader ever. Yeah. Kalinka Pavlova says they demonize the seductive power of femininity, and it makes me sad they're trying to encourage women to be men and vice versa. Yeah, Kalinka, they took away the seductive power of femininity, but they still want men to pony up. They want them to be seduced by the fact that they're women, not that they were seductively acting in a way that would entice men to like them, just that they would do it. What is this? Someone sent me a thing. A long story short says, are you talking about the Frankensteiner move? No, a Frankensteiner is where you do a front flip. You do a front flip and you land with the legs on the shoulders, and then you you flip them back, right? Like, that's the Frankensteiner. That's around the neck. That's different. I think you do the front flip in Tekken, but that's not. It's like you wrap your legs around their neck and throw them. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a scissor takedown that they do around the body. Someone sent me a video. I'm gonna watch it. Hold on. See what this is. Is this it? This is just. Oh shit! Hold on. Can I? Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna see if we can show this. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready for this? Oh, fuck! I can't see the play button. Here we go. Oh, I'm so fucking bad at this. That's the physical reality of a 100-pound woman versus a 200-pound man. None of them want to admit that this is real, but did you hear that fucking AC? Hold on. In before Ein gets cast as a man in a corgi fursuit. But see, that's the reality of all this stuff. That's why this pisses me off. Faye's not a fighter, but they're gonna have her fighting, doing action scenes. They're gonna have her like sliding across the fucking ground like a ridiculous person. It's all stupid. So is this a Sleepless in Seattle stream? Yes. Gotta share that video. Where? Brandon, where do you want me to share it? It was sent to me on Discord, so I'll find a way. Should I put it on Twitter or something? Xenobit says, have you seen Choco Party Good Good? No. I don't want to. Put it on locals? I'll put it on locals. Oh, you made a smoked brisket? Nice. Yeah, I'll try and put it up on Twitter and on locals. Oh, God. So, So, speaking of travel, do you guys have a proper bag when you travel? If not, I have just the bag for you. The Ridge Travel Backpack. It's waterproof. It's Ridge. It's got space. It's got pockets. It's got, look at this. You want to know how much I trust the Ridge backpack? You want to know how much I trust it? Here we go. I brought one of my prized Warhammer books in the Ridge backpack because it has a padded, secure spot. Now, it's normally for laptops or whatever, but it accommodates a book that is, I mean, this book retailed for $65, but try and find the first wall right now on eBay. I don't know what it costs. Should we check? What does the first wall cost on eBay? Where are we? eBay, the first wall. Collector. Boom. First wall, limited edition. Siege of Terra. Right now, it's at $400. So, my point in that is that it is that good of a backpack that I trust it to bring my collector items so that I can read them, with me. And then, of course, you also have the Ridge wallet. Everything you need. It holds all of your essential cards. It's got a money clip if you want, or you can have a money band. You guys should get one. And you know how you could get one? You can go to ridge.com/nose. And you can put nose in the promo code and get a little bit of a discount. Hey, they're a little bit more expensive products, but I will personally say they're all very much worth it. They're very much worth it. If you disagree, that's cool. I like them. This is my third Ridge wallet, and the others work just fine. I prefer the clip. Someone asked clip or band preference. I prefer the clip. I've used both of them. My first one, I thought the band would be better because it's a little bit slightly smaller profile. I find the band doesn't, it's a little more cumbersome when holding money. I like the clip one better. But the backpacks are really fantastic. Without a hint of irony. Oh, it also has a phone charger, and the phone charger plugs into this guy, and this is a USB port, so you can have your USB cable if you want to do your Pokemon Goes. You can do that, and stay charged all day. So yeah, the battery works really well. So it's a nice bag, and again, it's waterproof. So that one, like if it rains all over you, your shit inside is gonna stay dry. So it's a great bag. The wallets are great. Bridge.com/knows. Most importantly, like I say every time, they support people like me. They don't tell me what to say. They don't tell me how to do an ad. They don't tell me any of that stuff. They just said, okay, just do your thing. And they've supported me through the rest of the year. So there'll be 2 Ridge spots per month. This is the second one for August. And yeah, I ask people to support people who make good products and support good people. So there you go. That's my thing. Blink if you're under duress. I'm under no duress. All right. Anyway, I had to get that in there, especially because the end of the month is coming up. I guess I could have done it on Monday, but 200 Watt Studio says my bag is sleeping. She gonna make me breakfast early. How can they be third wallet? How can they be good if you're at your third? They gave me 2 of them, as part of the promo deal. I bought my first one, then they gave me one, and then they gave me the second one. So, or yeah. Low Pro says, ever since Wonder Woman and Iron Man 2, fight choreographers for women insist on doing the same 4 stupid sliding kicks and jumping throws. Screw this low tier action girl trash. Be right back. Gonna go watch The Man from Nowhere again. Oh, nice. Music and Fiction says, while you're there, can you take down Bill Gates? No one can. Wolfgang Deo says, so if I happen to be in Seattle, I need a new book. Good luck. Good luck. I don't know where Eldon Bainling is. I saw him. He was on someone's stream earlier today, maybe. Was it today or was it yesterday? Might have been yesterday. Stega says, have you seen D-Brand's tweets about their new leather case? Their base is F, got PETA and the vegans super upset. No, haven't seen it. Previous super chats? What did I miss? I didn't mean to. It's really hard for me to keep up with them because I don't have shit. Adolf E. Newman says, Nick picking up the man purse business where Maddox left it. Maximanagy says, Hollywood has gotten so lazy they just expect us to act like we like this stuff. That's your job. You're the actor, not us. Yeah. Well, she shouldn't be the actor here. Death Trout says, it's got pockets. You sound like a woman. I sound like I'm giving you facts. And the fact is it had pockets. Long story short, says, off topic. Did you hear that feel-good story of that commie Nathan J. Robinson? His staff tried to organize worker co-op, so he fired them. Well, it's like Michael Moore, right? He wouldn't hire union people to work on his documentaries. Kalinka Pavlova says, to the potential German shepherds out there, there are funnier ways to be slammed by men. Just saying, aww. Aww. Gross. Okay, now to get back to where we were. Okay. Whew. Found it. You are right. You are right. Yeah, if men started just body slamming women who were twerking, that'd be really funny. Oh, speaking of body slams. Well, Cocaine Jedi says, have you played any ghost encounters? Had any ghost encounters? No. Watching a bud, well, yes. Watching a Bud's house on base, and I've had a kid say hi about 4 times. Gross. Dog keeps playing with nothing at the end of the hall. Grew up in the sticks, so I know better than to talk back. In my other house, I had two. Three. Three unexplained events, I'll call them. Xenobit says, no one asked, so I guess I will. Vic updates. Nope, there's no Vic updates. I had three events with me. One of them was we had a Woody doll from Toy Story, right? Pull a string and he says, hi, my name's Woody, right? He does that. It talked all the time at night. Not during the day, but just while I was the one awake. Like I'd be in my office and Woody was in the playroom, which was outside my office at the other house. And I'd be sitting there and he just, hi, my name's Woody. Like, fuck you. You shut your fucking whore mouth, Woody. He would talk all the time. And so eventually, though, one of my kid's cousins came over and ripped his head off. And so he got thrown in the garbage. And we got a replacement one, and that one doesn't talk. So that's one of them. The other one, this was the weirdest one. My dad and I were sitting. Okay, so we're at the dinner table at my house. I can't tell you about the business deal yet. No, you'll learn soon. My dad and I are sitting at the dinner table. I'm under NDA right now, so I really can't. And I'm at the head of the table. It's my house. And here's the corner, right, next to me. And then he's right around the corner, right? So we're right next to each other. We're just having a talk. Everybody else is gone. They're doing other stuff in the house. And straight off the corner of the table is a rocking chair. All right? So it's just sitting there. This is an old style rocking chair. It's got a wicker back and a wicker seat. It's probably 60 years old. And this big like Fibonacci sequence arm and rocker leg all in one. Like it's one big curved piece of wood that goes around. That's the rockers on each side. You guys may have seen one of these. I'm sure a lot of old people had them, like maybe your grandparents. My wife got it from her grandma. All right. And so my dad and I are sitting there talking, and the chair just fucking and stopped. Just two full rocks out of nowhere. And I looked at my dad and I looked at that thing, and we're not close enough to touch this. And I'm like, see that? He said, yeah. I was like, never tell Lady Rackets. Ever. Like, just never tell her that happened, because she'll freak out. And I'm like, I can't get rid of the chair. It's an heirloom from her grandmother. And I checked, I'm like, there's no air conditioning that could have done that. I have no idea. I don't think it was a cat. The cats weren't around. It was the weirdest fucking thing. It never happened again. I don't know why it did that. We still have the chair. It doesn't rock on its own or anything. It was just the weirdest fucking thing ever. I thought my dad had somehow like slipped his leg down and like moved the chair or something, but it wasn't possible. He's also not flexible, so that wasn't gonna happen. Almond John 1 says, do you think of fart sounds when you see twerking? No, I just think of sadness. And then the last thing that happened to me at the old house was that I heard, now, and this is the weakest one, because in theory, I guess it could have been a kid, but I was in my office. It was late at night. Everybody's asleep. And there was a sound of like a marble dropping on the ground, right? So we had a hardwood floor. And so it was like, right? And I came running out, and I'm like, because I thought one of my kids was out of bed. I'm like, you motherfucker. And I couldn't find any kid. I couldn't find any rock or marble or anything like that. And I was like, Okay, so I went to all my kids' rooms and I was checking for the kids, and I couldn't. They were all asleep. So I mean, they could have been, it could have been like a work, right? Like they could have been, but they seemed out. It was weird. It was really weird. And then that was it. The other thing, my my second oldest would see a red dot in his sleep. I don't know what that ever meant because he was so little. But he would talk about the red dot, and it terrified the fuck out of him. Just terrified of this dot. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if it was a light. I don't know what that was. But he's using young kid language. And then my she was the youngest at the time, and she's now the second youngest. She would always talk about the black things. And she hadn't met Drexel yet, so it wasn't that. But she would talk about the black things, and they terrified her. I got the impression that those were like creepers, right? People who have sleep paralysis, they see creeping things at the edges of their vision. So we when we moved to the new house, oh man, we moved to the new house one time. She was, oh Jesus, she was freaking out about the she's freaking out about um it was one of the black things. And I said, "No, lady, those were at the other house. They're not here." You just tell a kid that because that makes sense. And she says, "No, no, it was here." And so then I said, "Okay, where?" She says, "It left my room." So I said, "I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna kill it." And so then I walked around the house for a while, and then I came back and I said, "It's dead." And then it never bothered her again. So, so that was good. She was very, very happy to have it killed, by the way. But it was, dude, the stuff at the other house, it got a little bit weird sometimes. I don't know why. I looked into the history of the house. No deaths there or anything like that. It was there's no explanation for why there would be any haunting of any type. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in any of that stuff. But I do know that there were weird shit that happened that I couldn't explain. That's all I know. Um, but yeah. Mm, it's built on a native burial mound. I don't think so. There's a boy in the walls. Thought that for a little bit because the people we bought it from, there was a name of a kid that they didn't talk about, and it was written like on the inside of one of the walls. Like they'd done some work on the house themselves, and it was written on the inside of one of the walls. I'm like, who the fuck is Tanner? And we never heard about it. But then we found out that Tanner is very much alive and well. It just didn't come up in conversation, so that was weird. So I don't think that was a thing either. Intergalactic Butthole Explorer says, Nick, if you're scared or angry, just make a TikTok dance video and all your problems will disappear. Joel Reese says, this summer, Nick Ricada is. This summer, Nick Ricada is the Ghost Whacker. The Ghost Whacker? Really? But yeah, so I'll be back. I'll be back in my. Someone said they miss. I think they missed my office. I'll be back in my office in whatchamacallit, on Monday. You did see a black thing one time in one of my streams. What when Drex joined? Oh my God. Oh boy. So what? Was there anything else to talk about? That's the real question. Philip A. Demick says, "Can you react to World According to Briggs on Seattle?" What the fuck is that? I don't know what that even is. Oh, I had to explain Ron Toye to someone. Solid movie night, you fig. I don't have a way to do movie night. I don't have a way to do it. Sorry. What's that fucking super chat? World According to Briggs? How long is this? World According to Briggs? It's a YouTuber. Seattle. What's up with? Well, he's got a bunch. They're long. No, no, sorry. Those are too long. Uh, hey, thanks, Neil Agosto. Yeah, unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to do Flashcast tomorrow because that's going to take place at 7 p.m. here. That's right in the middle of what we're going to be hanging out. Police impersonator in Florida is facing a litany of felonies. Oof. Oof. Hmm. It's okay. At least you looked it up. Briggs is a cool vet. I bet he's a cool dude. It's just I'm not gonna like sit and watch a 15-minute video on my phone and try and react to it here. Maybe for a stream or maybe I'll like preview one of his videos or something. Since when are you on time to Flashcast? I'd be really late tomorrow, I think. Uh, so my job tomorrow is to find some fucking cigars. Many times have you had to explain Kurt Eichenwald to a normie? At least five. The anime guy says, Nick, next time your kid complains about a ghost, get some blanks and shoot where the kid saw the monster last and let it loose a few rounds of like major pain. Is he in there? Uh-huh. If he is, he ain't happy. Great. Hey, what's up, K1 Computer Solutions? It goes well. What was with the Uche thing? Uh, Uche was being stupid. And so I said that he was stupid. And then he was acting like a bitch. So I said he was acting like a bitch. And I think he was acting like a bitch during the whole Zack Snyder thing too. He's a weird dude. I don't I don't get it. I don't get why people are interested in him or whatever. And I think he threw his friends under the bus for Zack Snyder simpery, which was weird, weird. Stega says you can get half decent cigars at Bevmo out here. Cool. But what prompted it was Uche said about Ashley Babbitt. He said she fucked around and found out she should try not being a terrorist. And so Dick Masterson said, cool, now do George Floyd. And then he immediately says, three cops on one black man's back, blah, blah, blah. And Dick said, well, didn't he fuck around and find out by resisting arrest? And Uche was like, no, no, completely different. Show me in the book where resisting arrest means a death sentence. And then Dankula, Countatola Dankula, right? Uh, he responds and says, "Show me in the book where blah blah blah," and then Uche ends up saying, they go back and forth a couple times, and Uche says, uh, "What's your government name?" Countatola, very funny. What's your government name? And it's like, you fucking idiot, you fucking idiot. And so, that's where he goes to, right? Dox yourself. Oh, you can't have a conversation with someone unless they tell you their real name. Get over yourself. And so I said, bro, that's Sam Hyde, right? because I thought that was funny. Um, but he, then he was, yeah, we were just going back and forth. It was fine. I just think I just think he was being so fucking stupid. Like, just stop being like this. Why are you? It's I said it to Shane, and it's my favorite quote. Maybe I should put it on a shirt. It's just, why are you like this? That's what you got to ask so many people these days. Why are you like this? You'll be the next to be canceled by Friday Night Tights? I don't think so. Um, okay. Earlier, I was saying this. Speaking of body slams, because there is actually a finish to this story. Speaking of body slams, do you guys remember we watched that Oklahoma football bathroom fight? Xenobit says this stream needs more gym. The internet needs more gym. Unfortunately, the cancer aids. Uh, that Oklahoma bathroom fight between the two football players and the two brothers who did MMA. Um, they got. I wanted to report because I never followed up on that story, but turns out so the charges were filed against the brothers, or one of the brothers, Walker Brooks, I think is his name. Charges were filed against him, and then the prosecution dropped the charges and said no. After reviewing witness statements and video, they determined that they engaged in mutual combat. And so the football player almost lost his eye. He had to have his orbital bone was shattered and had to have it reconstructed. Um, here's how bad Hunter Brooks whooped the football player's ass. He tore his bicep kicking that guy's ass. He tore his own bicep. Wolfgang says, any peaceful protesting in Seattle? I'm not in town. By the way, my real name is Susan Frank Cuttlebottoms, so now you can properly debate me, a boy named Sue. Intergalactic Butthole Explorer says, Nick, what is your opinion on the new woke Candyman? Wait, what? Woke Candyman? How do you have woke Candyman? Does he like not kill women or something? They had every opportunity to leave. They chose to be barbarians. They deserve jail time. The football players hit them. Candyman only responds to his name in the mirror to champion trans justice with a hook and bees. Xenobit says, I said Latinx in my mirror 10 times. Now Mexican Candyman won't leave me alone. The soup's very good. Soup's very good. It's not noodles, it's tortilla strips. Corn tortilla strips. Noodles would be a little bit better. Personally. What type of soup? It's a chicken tortilla soup. Well, guys, it's getting pretty late here. What? It's midnight. That means 2 a.m. This is when I would normally end the show. So I think we'll probably wrap it up for the night. Yeah, air conditioning ASMR. I don't know that I have any other specific stories to talk about. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before I go? I can't do Twitch. I don't have a way. The AC is loud. It's so weird. It's how phone microphones work. They pick up the wrong shit. I could have put my headphones in and used those as a mic, but oh, can you do a quick slam of Critical K? Yeah, Critical K. Do you guys know this? Critical K is one of the fat mads who was involved in the Ken Jennings incident. I don't know that Critical K did any of the doxing. I'm not saying that, but Critical K is also being sued, and I know the lawyer who is suing her. Well, who's representing the person who is suing her, and we'll probably be looking at that lawsuit when I get back because there's some new stuff going on in it. It's very interesting. But her entire YouTube channel got nuked for harassment. So there you go. Turns out you can't just like go around doxing people on YouTube. They're not a big fan of that. Unibit says, "What do you think happened to the kids in Willy Wonka after the guy sang the Candyman can repeatedly into the mirror? Hopefully they all got eaten by the Oompa Loompas." But yeah, Critical K got completely nuked off of YouTube. And as far as I can tell, it had nothing to do with like her wrong think or something. It was actual terms of service violations, but I don't know. Maybe not. But it kind of seemed like that's what they were into, which is weird. But some people do that. Now the real question is, will the lawsuit against her go through? Also, there's been a big update in Chris Avalone's case. Big update in Kyle Rittenhouse. Big update in Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell's case was dismissed in California. That means he's probably going to get, I think it's in California. It means he's probably going to get slapped with an anti-slap statute and end up having to pay a fuckload of money. Cynic Sally says, Saki sucks, loves your vids. Hey, thanks, brother. Chris Avalone has won on jurisdiction in California. They tried to get the case moved or whatever, and he won on another a motion to quash. He won that one, and then the special motion to strike, which is the California anti-slap, has been set for a hearing. It's coming up soon. So that's a pretty interesting one. So Chris Avalone is doing well, I guess. We'll have to see if he gets past anti-slap, but he won his first two arguments. And then the other one is Kyle Rittenhouse. I mentioned on a short video, I think the other day, that the prosecutor in Kyle Rittenhouse's case was seeking the names of everyone who donated to Kyle's GoFundMe, who bought merch, everything, right? Stephen Farrington says, "Did you ever find out what the black things were?" No. So they asked the defense for that. The defense attorney, Mark Richards, said, "I don't have this. Fuck you. You can just ask." Because they said they want the list, right, of people, because they said those people can't be jurors, which, that's a fair thing to say. Um, yes, I'll be talking about Quentin Flynn probably right when I get back. Um, it's fair to say that someone who donated to Kyle Rittenhouse maybe wouldn't be an impartial juror, but you have to ask that question of voir dire. You don't get a list of people who donated because most of them aren't going to be in the jury pool. Um, so now the lawyer said, one, no, and two, we don't have it. So now the prosecutors have filed a motion to compel Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer to produce the list. And so, yeah, they filed a motion to compel, and that motion hearing, among other motion hearings, is set for September 16th. The interesting thing about that is I think maybe the motion to dismiss Kyle's charge for the minor in possession charge, I think that might be bundled in there with it. So that is coming up on, I believe, September 16th is the date. I'll verify that. And I'm going to see if we can watch that hearing live. I'll see if I can get a link to it. I don't know. If I can get a link to it, we'll try. So yeah, it looks pretty interesting stuff going on, and we'll get a good read on Rittenhouse's stuff. I mean, if the judge allows that compelling of a list of people who donated, we'll know that Kyle's in for a really rough ride. That should not be allowed. Why did I have to try and explain to someone about Ron? Because most people in the world are blessed to not know who Ron is. Uh, oh, what else happened? Oh, I also got to hear someone talk to me about how much they hate that people can just go on the internet and say whatever they want, like on a YouTube video or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. Mhm. Mm. But it was good. It was good. So you cannot leave that room until you're vaccinated. Shit. Rittenhouse prosecutors trying to add video into evidence from CVS. They won't say how they got. What video would they have? But mm. And the Arnold simps continue on my Screw You Arnold video. That's the other news. They are they are so mad that I made fun of Arnold. I'm like, why? I responded to someone today. I said, imagine being an Arnold simp. How embarrassing for you. Will you defend against vax mandates? Like, am I going to take cases on it? Probably not. No, there would be better law firms to handle those cases. Oh, the Subverse shout out of Tim Pool was really funny. God, that was really good. Yeah, Ty's still here. He's just in a different room. Thank God. Yeah, one of them said to me, "You're lucky it's not 1975." Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because that Arnold would have been all for mask mandates while he was busy pumping iron and fucking bitches. All he's doing. Will I play the Diablo 2 remaster? I'm not sure yet. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Having fun with Mortal Shell, even though it really is irritating. Tim Pool's been using his tough guy voice. What's Tim Pool's tough guy voice? Avahine says, after your steak date with Ty the other night, who had to eat the poo poo after? Just started watching tonight, so I apologize if you already answered. I don't eat the poo poo. Yes, I'm in the outskirts of Seattle. Tomorrow I will be in Seattle. Tomorrow for a meetup around lunchtime. Uh, so we'll see. Say a boomer, I'm out of streamers to hear tonight. Don't die tomorrow, bro. I won't. Hey, Nick, some people's Patreons were newt by Games Workshop due to copyright. Oh, yeah, that was a while back, right? Or did they do it again? Hmm. I don't remember where if you're in the Discord, there will be an announcement tomorrow. There's some bar that we're going to. I don't remember the name. I'm gonna post it in the Discord tomorrow when I wake up and find out where it is. Cocaine Jedi says, knock on the wall and tell Ty sleep apnea is perfectly natural for a growing boy and is nothing to be ashamed of, but to please keep it down. Um, I love trash talking on Nick's streams. Neither Nick nor YouTube can stop me here. Well, I mean, I can, I guess. I don't really want to. I want you to trash talk. Trash talk a whole bunch. Hmm. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. That's gonna be the end of the show for me. And we'll see, we'll see something soon. When is Good Logic back on the air? I think he's got 5 days left. Fuck. You actually have a law question. The city I work in updated their mask mandate recently and called the company I work at and misrepresented the terms of the changes to them. Okay. Trash talk is never directed at me. Lol. Oh, it should be. Wolfgang says, I know a good gay bar in Seattle, bro. To say that they had to enforce masks in the building despite the company being private and the building not being open to the public, can the city be held liable for misrepresentation? For just telling them that? No, I don't think so. If they tried to enforce it, that's a different question. But I don't think they can tell it. Check out the blue waffle. Oh, I'll just Google it. Cocaine Jedi. Well, I'm glad you're home. Any updates on the Long situation? Is Michael still on the run with Sophie? As far as I know, yes. I have not really. There's some documents filed there. I don't know if Michael is going to be fighting or not. I don't know. Uh, I think I think it's a shit situation. Um, and I think there's some grounds for Michael to fight. I don't know if he's gonna. They did try to enforce it. They placed reverse 911 calls to the company and sent agents to the building to try and do a compliance check. Jesus Christ. Man, Blue Waffle is the best thing about Seattle. Make sure to find it. Oh, I will. I will. Yeah, I don't know, Solemn. I don't know how you would until they actually like use the government to do something other than just tell people like the government can lie to you. Michael has a new GoFundMe set up by his mom. Cool. Um, the government can lie to you. They can lie all the time, and they can't really be punished for it. If they do enforcement actions, if they actually infringe on your rights, and not just by you listening to their lie, unfortunately, but if they try and do a fine or confiscate property or put people in jail, that's when you can fight back against them. But yeah, the government lies, always have, always will. Cops can lie, individual government agents can lie. It's part of their freedom of speech. Go figure. Uh, so I don't agree with that, by the way. That's just how it goes. What do I think of the mother in Cook County being stripped of her rights over vaccines? I want to know if there's any more to that story because that is an abomination. Hmm. Look, Salah, my take is simple. I don't think the government should mandate shit. What do they call a midget Taliban? A wee hottie? Just got here. Have you seen the U.S. soldiers performing rescue ops in Afghanistan? Somewhat nice to see there's still heroes out there. I heard about it. I heard about it. All right, guys. Now I'm actually going to end the stream. I don't have an outro because I'm on a phone. But again, thanks for showing up to these impromptu streams that I do while traveling. They're fun. They're very fun, and it's great to just sit down and be able to chat. Good night and a good cold meal. It is still pretty tasty. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you There may be a daytime stream tomorrow. There may be. If there is, it'll involve guns, I think. And so I want to do a stream. If we can't stream it, I'll try and record it anyway. So, all right, guys. Have a good night. Peace. Stephen Farrington says, thanks, Nick, brother. And Wolfgang says, play outro on phone. Boober. No. Peace, guys. Peace.